Well, howdy fab friends, it's Kim Odekove and KRO Designs. I promised you a tutorial on how to do this pocket right here. This is a pocket by North Branch. It's wonderful, lovely, soft, well-used leather for me. And this pocket, if you've seen my setup video of this, I just posted last week. Here is this pocket that I have all of my credit cards and insurance cards and gift cards and all that sort of thing. Because this is my wallet. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how I made this one, and I'm going to go through the supply list. So the first thing you're going to need is this, and this is called, it's a template. I've known for doing my templates. I've done a lot of B6 ones. But this is for the pocket wallet tutorial here. So what you're going to need is to print out this, and I'll leave the link for this below in the description box. Super easy to find. It's immediate click. Just you click on it, download it, instantly print it off. Now you can print it on two different things. You can print it on either cardstock if you want to reuse it and do it as a tracing, or what I like to do also is print it directly onto Mommy Lay's paper. Now she has paper that comes in the kit or digital paper. I would suggest putting it on some sort of sturdy cardstock. It doesn't have to be like ultra rigid cardstock, but if you print it on just regular printer paper, it doesn't hold up as well as you would if you had cardstock. Now the other thing you could do is print it on different types of paper. You have to have the back side this is the back side that's just the square, needs to be at least on cardstock. But for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these front parts with this half circle, and that's going to be, I'm going to use this vellum here as my top part. So before I get started, let's go through the rest of the list. Obviously, we need a laminating pocket. My laminator is plugged in next to me. I also need an X-Acto knife. And if you aren't willing to use a rotary cutter and a rotary mat like I use, just a pair of scissors will do. All right, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start using my rotary cutter and my rotary mat. With my see-through ruler on this, I'm going to cut out the 4 squares here that are going to be the base of my wallet. All right, guys, so a couple points of note as I was cutting. You saw that I used this marker to trace around one of the templates. This is just a dry erase marker, and I knew I could rub it off very easily with some water on this acetate. So that's what I did there. Now, if you are concerned about the edges, as you can see here, that there's just a little bit of edge of the black marker. If you don't want that, just cut on the inside line as much as possible. Or your alternative solution is actually not printing this on the side that you do want. What you want to do is print it on the back side. That way when you cut it out, all of those lines are on the back side of the paper and they won't be on the front. Now, if we go over the template, I did forget to say that there are some very minimal instructions here. The YouTube video is to supplement this. You should be able to figure it out on your own if you know what you're doing. But this is what I call a center line, and as you can see, so this would be the pocket and this would be where the elastic goes. So that's what this center line means here. So those are just the 2 points of note about the template. Now we've got all of our parts cut out. It really... Oops, you know what? I don't have all my parts cut out. I need 2 more of these guys and then I can get going. Okay, I'll be right back. So here I am, I've got the 4 acetate pieces that I need. And just so you know, I could have run that acetate through my printer and printed on it as a full sheet. But since that was just a little partial sheet, I used this template and I could just use different scraps of paper. So you really don't need much paper or packaging. Don't forget your packaging about Mommy Lay. But just make sure that all of the base layers are on the same thickness, meaning some packaging is super thick and it could throw off the lamination just a little bit. You might need to leave a little extra room. So that's just another side note there. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to grab our laminating sheet and we're going to open it up. Now, as you had seen from the beginning here, is that you want to make sure that your outsides or the half circles are on the outside. So when you're at your wallet, you can actually take out the credit card from the side. So if you put the half circles on this side, it's going to be difficult to pull them out. And that's all the half circles are for, is just for ease of use, getting them out there. So the only trick to this is make sure you have your base sides flush here. And it's okay that there's a little overhang, as you can see on these. There is overhang with this part. I like that because it's easier to get in and out. And honestly, I have used this thing since December, and it is now September. So the only addition I ever had to make was I needed to add this one little piece of acetate there, or piece of washi tape there, because I was neglectful and making sure that I didn't put an excessive amount of cards in there. That was the only trouble. Now, because I freehand cut one and I did not freehand cut the other, they're slightly off. So you want to make sure they're all lined up on the sides, especially with that acetate being it as clear as it is. You want to make sure that you're not impeding the lamination process, and that's super key on this one. So this one looks just fine. I'm going to go ahead and put it next to it. Now I'm leaving 1/8 of an inch between the top and the bottom there, to see. Now when I do the next part, I'm going to put this base layer down here, but I'm going to leave 1/4 of an inch for the middle elastic. And that was the center line comment I made previously. Just making sure that that is the way it works. And now I'm going to set all of my pieces down and get started with my laminating. So now that I've trimmed the outside edges to 4/8 of an inch around the edges for sure, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, and this is where a little finesse comes in. I'm just going to go ahead and score the top of the lamination right here, and then I'm going to just go around with my X-Acto knife to open this pocket up. All right, now that we've gotten the pockets done on here, you just want to go ahead and pre-crease the middle part of this. That way it will lay flat. And honestly, it's going to take a little bit of use to, like laminating memory for it to go back where it should be. But as you can see, those pockets fit absolutely perfect right there. And a little weight on the front and the bottom makes it extra sturdy as well. Is if this bothers you until that laminating memory happens, because as you can see, this one lays flat all the time. What you can do is put a little piece of double stick tape right between the two. I would highly suggest not actually taking a clothespin or a pin of some kind and doing it there, because you won't be able to get your cards in and out. But it certainly works for me, and I hope it works well for you. I'm ready to load this puppy up. And then as soon as you finish filling it and you're about to put a sticky note on the inside, you realize about all of this awesome space that you could actually use in your planet for credit cards too. Now this is a great option for those of you that don't have a lot of cards or gift cards to use, but I went ahead and made another one. Yeah, that's me. As soon as I got done with the video, made another one and just added another piece of this curved material on this inside, and I just stacked those 3 layers together. Now, to make sure they aren't shifting inside the laminating pocket, what I did was just use a scrap paper, piece of paper on the bottom and the top, and just pushed it to almost all the way to the edge, and then I slapped some glue stick on top, so I would just have the tiniest little bead of glue stick, so I could sandwiched those three together, and then of course I repeated it on the other side, and then I just laminated it like regular. But this time I decided to use some extra fun stickers that were in the August box. These are those clear halos. This one was actually a paper sticker, but I went ahead and decorated the front side of that wonderful laminating pocket with many of choices. Use as much creativity as you'd like to create your own masterpiece for your wallet. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Love to see you next time. Bye.